I am Pankaj Saran. I am the convener of NatStrat. NatStrat is a new independent think tank that we have just started a few weeks ago, and we look forward to being in touch with all of you and to promote and to explain what India's strategic and security imperatives are, how the global developments impact on what India does or does not do, and what the future entails for a country of India's size. Today, we are a young organization, but we have ambitious plans to grow, and we look forward to your support and to your contributions because we intend to be transparent, we intend to be open, objective, realistic, and above all, independent. So I have here with me Shantanu Mukherji, and I'm going to discuss with him what NatStrat is all about. Shantanu is the advisor of NatStrat and a distinguished colleague and someone who has decades of experience on security issues. Shantanu, welcome to our first show on NatStrat. And I would like to ask you, firstly, how do you feel about NatStrat? Secondly, tell us more about yourself.
Thank you, Pankaj. I'm feeling rather very proud and excited to be associated with you with so much of exposure in geopolitical and other related issues. NatStrat, yes, a great sense of pride for us. And looking forward to do it and cater, as you explained, objective, analytical, prescriptive, and apolitical without taking any sides and catering to India's security and geopolitical interests. So I feel very good about it, very frankly, and to be affiliated with you in this task, in this challenge.
But tell me, Shantanu, what is different about NatStrat? I mean, after all, India has so many think tanks. Delhi has so many think tanks. Why NatStrat, and how is it going to be different from the others?
Well, I mean, it's rather premature for me to say before we arrive at certain results. But I have a dream and I'm very confident it is different because it is young, as you said. It is in its nascent stage. And the issues we have shortlisted in our neighborhood and other countries of critical interest to India gives me the hope that it will make a marked difference from the other think tanks existing in India.
Wonderful. Thank you. I think what you're also telling us is that because of your years of experience, your decades of experience in government, outside government, you were the National Security Advisor to the Republic of Mauritius. This is not an easy task. Tell us a little more about your stay in Mauritius and how was that assignment for you?
Well, that was very challenging and it had its own pitfalls also. But with my huge exposure in security and intelligence in India in various capacities and abroad, it helped me. Number one, Mauritius is a friendly country to stabilize its security and intelligence apparatus, trying to beef up their system of intelligence collection, etc., etc. Analytical skills, coastal security, maritime security, and to see that the Mauritius should not drift towards the radicalization of a particular faith or this thing, because those are the critical areas. So it was a very fulfilling experience, Pankaj, for me.
Wonderful, wonderful. No, we look forward to having you on board NatStrat.
Thank you.
And we believe that the areas of our neighborhood are going to be of special interest to you, particularly, say, for example, a country like Bangladesh, where you have huge expertise. Tell us about that.
Surely, but I'm perhaps talking to the wrong person. You have been High Commissioner yourself in Bangladesh. But when Bangladesh was in its 9th or 10th year of independence as a free country, I was posted there for 4 long years as a diplomat. And there I gathered friends. I started taking interest in that, the knowledges. So Bangladesh is important, particularly for us. And it's a new agenda for NatStrat also to analyze and see how the election things are unfolding there.
Yes.
It's almost a year left now for the elections to hold. What are the implications for India, particularly the security implications?
No, and you're absolutely right. But, I was also thinking while you were talking about the implosion in Pakistan, the economic meltdown in Sri Lanka. So we have problems all around us.
Yeah, definitely. The neighborhood shifting from Bangladesh, definitely we have. So my focus has always been on the security-related issues, basically. But Pakistan, of course, it has a direct bearing on us because of the nefarious activities they had been launching on us, like cross-border terrorism, circulation of fake Indian currency notes, etc., etc. We have to be doubly cautious. And to contain the possible economic meltdown, the best part is to read, study, and analyze what were the lessons learned for what happened in Sri Lanka, the Chinese influence, etc., etc.
No, wonderful. So I just want to also say NatStrat is going to deal with basically three areas of focus. The first is going to be geopolitics, the second is going to be national security, and the third is going to be technology and economy. And within these three pillars, we hope to produce content which is, as I mentioned, independent, which is credible, which is realistic, and which meets the highest international standards. And we will not try to focus on everything because the agenda is vast, but we want to see how India shapes the world order, how the emerging world order impacts on India, and what role India can play. India is already the largest country in the world. It has a huge demographic base. What happens in India impacts not just the neighborhood or our country, but the entire global situation. Therefore, it is absolutely important that the voice of India is heard in a manner that makes sense to the rest of the world. NatStrat will seek to target policymakers within India, outside India, and try and also invite the best of the best scholars and writers and experts to contribute to its work so that we build a body of literature that meets standards which are of the highest order. Shantanu, tell me something. Are you also planning in NatStrat to also go beyond the digital space and into physical events?
Yeah, definitely. Before that, let me add to what you concluded with just now. Is that the world is seeing India rather with awe of late. From December 1, it had assumed the leadership of G20. It is security issues. We see the world leaders, they're banking on India's expertise on various aspects. So definitely beyond the charter, beyond the routine, like only a think tank. Yes, organizing physical events, symposium, seminars on topical issues where we focus so that there is an interactive session which leads to ideas.
Are you planning to invite foreign scholars for these events?
Definitely. May not be to start with, but as we go along, as we continue to monitor our progress, surely we'll invite.
I think it will be a good idea to get experts from at least our neighboring countries.
Definitely.
Like we had Sayyid Badrul Hasan from Bangladesh.
Sure.
We can have others from Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, and other neighbors.
Definitely. I would like to have participation, regional participation, then subsequently the world participation, people from ASEAN coming, speaking to us. So the more we talk, more we interact.
And even from outside the region.
Definitely.
I mean, from East Asia, from Central Asia, from the Gulf, from the major powers.
Definitely.
In fact, the major powers is one of the other key areas of our focus. We would like to understand what makes a country a major power. What are the attributes of being a great power in the world? What are the components of comprehensive national power? We will study the foreign policies and the dynamics of the United States, of Russia, of China, of Europe, of Japan, and to see how these great powers and major powers interact among themselves and impact on India. We will like to study the fallout of the Ukraine conflict. These are some of the issues which we will be focusing on. We will also be focusing on threats from terrorism, illegal migration, narcotics. These are things which affect us right across from the border.
The issues you have just listed, it's not only India specific, they are affecting adversely the other countries as well. So for example, the drug syndicates and the radicalization of any faith, that kind of things are taking place. So we'll definitely try to address them and taking all the world players, you meant the academics and the scholars and the security experts into our fold and try to arrive at some conclusion, some direction so that there is a roadmap and think tanks lives up to its objectives which you outlined just now.
Thank you. So we are really excited to begin this venture. We will ensure that we are up to standard, we produce the best of the best, we involve the best brains and the brightest young minds of India and globally. We will also make our outreach felt in other parts of India, to other cities. We will try to talk to youngsters, to young minds, to see how we can enrich and we can bring on board the real India that is today in the midst of rapid change. So please stay with us, and we will be there more and more on the digital space as we go along.